Every niche on Etsy has a slightly different Q4 experience depending on how your specific products react to the holiday season. For example, if I look at my holiday stats for last year compared to the previous time period, you can see in both periods right here in September, you can see a slight uptick hitting right in the beginning of September for my Q4 season beginning. So that means that we start our holiday prep in the beginning of August so that we're ready in time for that uptick in the beginning of September. Now, like I mentioned, this is different per your niche. So your upward curve could be way more aggressive than ours, or maybe it's just a slight plateau. But depending on how hard or soft that curve is, that will help you determine how soon you want to start preparing. So my curve was, it's an upward curve, but it's not like a straight upward curve. So if you have a straight upward curve, then that probably means that you have a really holiday specific shop. So if you're in something like candles or jewelry or something like that, those types of niches tend to really see a hard uptick in these months. So that means that you probably would even want to start sooner than say my shop with my data stats. And by the way, this tool that I'm using to show you these stats is something called Profitability, which is the first ever real-time automated profit tracking tool for sellers. And so it gives you a bunch of insights like this, and you're going to see how this is utilized when analyzing your own shop data for making these decisions when it comes to setting yourself up for the holiday. And again, depending on your own stats, it's not one size fits all. It's going through these seasons and looking at the collective data sample of what happened in the previous season and pulling out what worked best from the previous season and doing more of that for your next holiday season. And don't worry, even if you're somebody that does not have over a year of sales history or you haven't been through your first Q4 yet, this video is going to be for you as well. So here are the 4 things that I recommend that you do for your holiday season to get ready for max profit potential. Number 1 is analyze top performers and pull out the lowest hanging fruit of our existing product line to make new offers around. The idea is this: whatever is already working in terms of your top performing for this current year or this current quarter, ideally as the holiday season comes around, the holiday rush just puts fuel under the fire for those products. And so as we continue launching new products for the holiday season or just launching new listings, not technically new products, what we want to do is look at our lowest hanging fruit without having to design a new product or go out and source materials specific to the holiday season. So how do we do this? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to analyze what are our top products in terms of profit and the products that are making us the most profit for the most recent time period, since those ones are the hot products and the lowest hanging fruit to optimize for the holiday season. All right, so I am back inside my Profitability account, and there's 2 different types of report. There's a product report and there is a listing report. And obviously, if you don't want to use Profitability to do this, you can still do this kind of, sort of. You just have to kind of go through all of your Etsy stats manually in a way, which is still possible. Profitability just makes it a lot easier. So inside Profitability, basically in your product report, it's giving you reports on each unique variation option you sell, where the listing report is showing you reports collectively for all the products that exist in this listing. But for the lowest hanging fruit, I just want to see the unique variation options that are performing really well now, because in terms of setting up new offers for that, the idea is that in the holiday season, people are going to buy a lot. And a lot of times when they're gift giving, they just want to buy a lot of the same thing to make their life easier when it comes to giving people gifts. So if they can buy more for a slightly cheaper price, or buy 2 get 1 free, or bundle different things together as like a gift bundle or something like that, those offers are going to do really, really well during the holiday season and honestly all year round. But specifically, we're going to set these up for the holiday offer and make it seem like it's a special holiday offer. So let's go to this current year, because we want to see what's performing well this year, because obviously we want to add fuel to the fire, what's currently working. And then I'm going to click most profitable, because obviously I care about what's making me the most profit. And by the way, this report is showing you your actual profit on a product before Etsy ads. So after your product costs, your listing fees, your seller fees, your payment processing fees, all of that stuff. So let's just look at what's going on here. So when I sort it by most profitable, I want to focus on the lowest hanging hanging fruit, meaning what is the most minimal thing I could do in terms of trying to put fuel under the fire of what's already working. So this product right here is obviously the most profitable for the year in terms of profit. So let's click on that product. In the product detail page, what is being shown here? So as we can see here, this product has a historical trend of going up in September, and collectively it's on a downward trend. So that means it's performing worse compared to the previous time period, but it's historically still killing it in terms of the profit compared to the other products that are there. And so what I'm gonna look at, first of all, is just to see if there's that low hanging fruit opportunity, because we know people individually like this product, and this product, you know, what this is showing here, the $7,000, is this unique variation option being sold across 9 different listings, right? So what Profittree does, one of the keys to success, obviously, on Etsy is duplicating your products to split test them. And so when you identify your products via a SKU code, it can sync the sales data of that unique product together. So you can see as a collective across all the listings how it performs. So it's done $7,400 so far for the year across 9 different listings. But none of these listings have that one unique item showcased in an image, but with just 2. So the main image just showing 2 of the exact same thing for a slightly cheaper price. And again, this goes back to the concept that during the holiday season, people just want to buy more for less. They can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, they're gonna do it. So I would go do a fresh round of analyzing my top performing products in terms of profit and see where the lowest hanging fruit lies in terms of just duplicating the listing and running a new listing with that new value proposition that doesn't exist yet in my store. Next week in my photo shoot, I would just grab that product and I would basically take 2 of those items and shoot them in an image together. But when they go to the listing, you'll see that there is still an option to buy one by itself. So it shows the cheaper price on the front end. But if they buy the bundle set of 2, then it's a cheaper price. So the key here is that you're still in the drop-down menu in the variation option, you're still offering one by itself. And I would make that clear in your variation option. So I would sync the image to the variation option. When they click on 1, it only shows 1. When they click on 2, it shows 2. So there's no confusion there, but you earn that click by them seeing 2, but they're still turned on to the product because basically they can buy more for less. And this works every single time. I do this with all of my products, whether it's the holiday or not. But then we're gonna take it up a notch in tip number 2. By the way, guys, if you want to try out Profittree, there is a link in my description where you can sign up for a free trial. So tip number 2 is adding holiday badges. Go figure. Badges are not something new to Etsy, but you can do this really incorrectly and actually turn people off to your listing if you do your badges incorrectly. So first and foremost, those same listings that I just talked about with the lowest hanging fruit, seeing what you can bundle and offer for more for less, you would also want to explore adding a badge to that or split testing it to see which one gets you a higher CTR. CTR stands for click-through rate, by the way. And again, just a key note here, backtracking, we don't want to ever change the main image of a performing listing, even for the holidays, right? If you have a listing that's performing and has a bestseller badge, we never ever want to change the main image because the algorithm likes that listing mostly because of that image that you have. So you never want to drastically make changes to a listing unless it's a clear value add. And so my example was duplicate and create a new listing with the bundles. So badges are really beneficial, especially for your products that aren't technically holiday specific products. Like there's products that you can sell all year round, like my products, where it's like, I don't actually have a Christmas branded products. Adding this badge can make it seem like it's holiday specific, even though it's really not. So doing badges wrong can actually hurt your CTR if you do them incorrectly. The key things with badges are these 4 things. Number 1, you do not want to use offensive colors or off-brand icons as the badge. So poor branding, incohesive branding, even with the badge, with the text, the typography, the colors, or if the colors don't actually go together inside the badge, this can actually make the perception of the product lower value because the branding is incohesive with the actual product image that it's sitting on. So let me just show you an example. So I'm inside Canva here and I typed in holiday Christmas product badges and I found this this template here. And then I started building some templates based off of these things. So really using softer colors, I guess what you could say is in trend. I would stay away from using cursive or curly fonts because those are just really hard to read. And I know you can read it because you're the one that made it, but you have a quarter of a second of someone's attention. You need to make sure that that text and that font is clear and branded correctly. And so the cool thing with Canva is not only these templates that they provide for you, but you can come in here and change the color according to what exists in your main image. So if you are selling a 2-candle bundle like this, you can pull out the blue that exists in this image and actually make that color tone the color tone of your badge. And so then it actually looks cohesive in terms of the image you're overlaying it on. And again, the really key thing here is that whatever your offer is here, or whatever your text is, it's clear and readable within a millisecond of your eyes landing on it. The second one is, like I just mentioned, make sure that the color tones are cohesive, not only to each other in the badge, but cohesive when you overlay it on your image, which I just showed you how to do that. Number 3, if you don't feel confident in graphic design or making badges, then I would just, study Pinterest. If you really want to test it out for your store, study Pinterest and see what the trendy typography is, what the trendy colors are for the season, and see what goes with your actual product photography, or hire somebody to give you a case study example to see how they do it so then you can recreate it for yourself. And number 4, like I said, you just want to make sure that the text is the most important thing, that you want to make sure that the contrast between the text and the background is actually readable. So a lot of times, as amateur graphic artists, whatever, when we're making these for the first time, you choose colors that are just like that, you can't read it, but you think you can read it because you can see it. So study your competition, even see what listings with badges are performing well and what kind of badge they have. The worst thing you can do is just, if you're doing it for the first time, you've never done it before, is, you think it looks good and you just run with it without doing some research on Pinterest or your competitor analysis, because you are not a big enough data sample to say something looks good. Maybe you get it on your first try, hopefully you do, but you really want to take that preliminary step of analyzing, some other case studies of it. So what other things can you put on a badge? So just some ideas. So buy 2, get 1 free. It could be holiday free shipping. It could say limited edition to make it seem like the product is limited for just the holiday season. If you're running a daily sale, you could put more emphasis on the sale, like 15% off, but make the graphic branded for, the holiday season. So it makes it seem like it's exclusive to this holiday time. Or it could say something like, if you're doing that bundle offer, it could be holiday bundle, something like this, that just puts more emphasis on the value proposition of the actual listing. But overall, I like badges. I think that especially during the holidays, it helps you stand out a little bit more, especially when you're selling products that aren't normally for the holiday. And if you're not feeling confident, the best thing that you can do is always test. So split test 2 listings, 1 with a badge and 1 with not. And again, see which one gets the higher click-through rate. Okay, and number 3, again, a low-hanging fruit thing that we do every season is that we just change up the keywords. And so recently, as you know, I've been talking about ChatGPT a lot. I like to just go to ChatGPT and just type in a prompt. So I typed in the prompt, I'm selling home decor and Etsy on Etsy, but my home decor is not seasonal. You can buy it all year round and have it in your house all year round. What keywords should I add to my listings to rank for Christmas coming up? And ChatGPT just always gives me new, fresh ideas on keywords that I may have not considered, whether they're long tail keywords or short tail keywords. And then I'll just add that to the back end of my listing title. And if it's like, something that I think will perform really well, I will put that also in my tags as well, that long tail keyword. And guys, really utilize ChatGPT. Like, it is going to cite where it gets its information from. I'm using it for keyword research. I'm having it write my titles, rewrite my descriptions, build SOP processes, email marketing, everything. So it helps me with my ideation. It's doing the whole dang thing. So lean on AI in terms of making you faster in your business. And number 4 is obviously Etsy ads. Etsy ads is something that I am not going to stop talking about. It is just, your goal as an Etsy seller is to get your Etsy account to the max budget allowance of $1,000 a day profitably, yielding more profit, not just revenue. And so, especially during the holiday times, if you're somebody that never considered running Etsy ads before, but you want to start exploring, or you want to really utilize the incoming traffic that's coming in, especially because during the holiday season, your cost per acquisition should technically get cheaper because there's so many people shopping, you really want to utilize Etsy ads. And Etsy ads are not a seasonal thing by any means. So I'm saying it's in, a seasonal video, but your goal with your Etsy ads is to get it to the max and hold it all year round at its max. And some people are going to be like, well, Hannah, I only turn my Etsy ads on for the holidays or something like that. But it's a really flawed concept because the way that Etsy ads bills you is something called PPC. So the amount of traffic that you get is proportional to how much traffic is hitting Etsy. When people see your ad, they're clicking on it because they went to Etsy to buy something, which makes them the hottest traffic on the internet, more than Meta ads, Instagram ads, arguably Google ads, because Google ads is so competitive. But then also they're searching in the exact keywords that exist in your listing. So that makes them even hotter traffic. And compared to any media buying outlet, you cannot really get cheaper traffic other than organic traffic or, viral content traffic from making content on social media, which I would never recommend you drive that traffic to an Etsy shop. I would recommend you drive that to your own Shopify store if you're that person that actually knows how to make money from making, reels and TikToks and stuff like that. But the moral of the story is Etsy ads do a lot of things for your shop, and the goal isn't, let me just get it to the max during the holiday season and then turn it off, because technically if traffic slows down on Etsy, your spend should also slow down because you're getting less traffic and less clicks because less people are searching the platform. And what Etsy does to your business as a collective is it sets you up for the long play in terms of competitiveness and making you more profit. So at the very worst, with someone's Etsy ad maxed out, they're at least doubling, if not tripling their profit if they're doing it correctly. If they're doing it wrong, then it could be a disaster. So I have a completely free training explaining this step by step, what Etsy ads are, what they do for your business, pretty much any objection that someone could have to media buying or investing in marketing for their business. It's gonna be tackled in that free masterclass. It's a free masterclass. It's about an hour long. I recommend you watch it. If you do watch it, you get Profit Tree for free for a month, which is not something that we offer publicly. And if you're somebody that struggles with Etsy ads, you're definitely not alone or crazy, because Etsy's reporting system doesn't actually give you one single data point that you need in order to make a higher level decision on how to optimize them. But Profit Tree does, and it's actually going to solve the entire problem for you in terms of knowing how to optimize them to your max profit potential. So if you want to get in that free training, make sure you click the link in the description. Overall, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have your own tips or tricks, make sure you comment them down below, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.